Arizona's new immigration law outlaws racial profiling. A half-century ago, it was alive and well here and in other border states. Thousands of immigrants, many of them U.S. citizens, were rounded up and taken back to Mexico. And many who grew up in that era draw parallels to what's happening now. The images may be dark and grainy, but the history for many Mexican Americans is crystal clear. This old newsreel from 60 years ago of a federal roundup of farm workers sent back to Mexico. And there are fears that even today, more than a half-century later, it could happen again.
I'm a fourth-generation Arizonan. I'm a veteran of the Korean conflict. I'm a retired school teacher. I've never been in jail. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm a writer, I'm a researcher, yet I live in fear.
Santos Vega wrote a book about his own family forced to leave the country after his father was expatriated in the 1930s. He's also old enough to remember what came to be known as Operation Wetback in the 1950s, where up to 1 million people, many of them born in this country, were sent back by the federal government.
This happens every 20 years or so.
Historian Jaime Aguila says in many families, it's the memories of those roundups passed down through generations which fueled the unrest over SB 1070.
The community of who have family members who are either immigrants, they're immigrants themselves. Certainly within those groups there's tremendous fear, and then there's these stories of my grandfather, my great-grandfather.
Both Vega and Aguila say the climate is different now, but many old sentiments remain, and history, they say, has a tendency to repeat itself. Historians tell us many of those who left as part of the operation were actually U.S. citizens, but they voluntarily went to Mexico to keep families together.
Happening right